Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I hope you're having a great day or night in Jesus. No study helps over 30 years old. This is being openly taught at seminaries across the United States of America. Let's look at it. God bless. Thanks for being here. Now, first of all, I want to say I understand why they say don't use study helps over 30 years old for your term papers, for your study, on and so forth. Because they would say, since ancient man, such as in the 1970s, didn't have cell phones, didn't have video recorders, there's no way they were smart. They had to be stupid. So, you only use stuff 30 years age. We are in the modern age, Moore's law, human knowledge is duplicating every 18 months. Now with AI, it's like every 2 weeks, the sum total of human knowledge is duplicating. Now, this is one of the most horrific, arbitrary laws, so to speak, in seminaries and Bible colleges I've ever heard of in my life. First of all, studying archaeology for many years, for one thing, there were a ton of archaeological things in the 1800s, early 1900s through the 1920s that just didn't get passed down to the next generation. You can't find people that know about Professor Selkirk and Yugel Yaden and those guys with the oldest Christian cemetery in the world saying Jesus is the Father from before 45 AD. You can't hardly find that because people can manipulate the data if it doesn't fit their data points and their thinking processes and their worldviews and their doctrinal predilections and understandings. They just won't bring it down. So, secondly, these folks may have had amazing. Are you telling me you can't read Isaac Newton? James Ussher? You can't read Spurgeon? This is insanity to think that only theological concepts within the last 30 years are worthy of being understood. And how can you even put anything in its proper context if you don't know what older folks thought about it and what older theologians thought about it, and other older Bible study teachers thought about it? Also, evil men and seducers will wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. It's common knowledge that people, let's say the King James translators, knew Hebrew and Greek far greater than people do today. You would just throw out all their knowledge, all their understandings of things. This is just horrific. And then giants like John Warwick Montgomery, for example, or an A.D. Urshan, or a G.T. Haywood. You can't use them. D.L. Moody. This is just malpractice. It needs to stop. Truth is truth regardless of the generation. There's not a truth for this generation and another truth for previous generations and another truth for each succeeding generation. Truth is truth. And so whoever thought up this arbitrary, and we could discuss it further and show the complete vacuousness and follies of it, it's insane. Get rid of it. If somebody's asking you to do that, unless God just tells you to go to that seminary, which he might, don't go there. That's insane. I mean, I can't even believe, it's to the point of hilarity. I can't even believe people take that serious. But you see, nobody talked about the climate until Silent Spring with Rachel Carson. So how could anybody, nobody knew, we didn't even know about gender studies till Marcuse and Foucault and Derrida and on and on. Look, the Bible's the Bible. It's an eternal book. And I'm going to tell you, there's probably some old farmer preachers out there that know a whole lot more about the Bible than extremely educated scholars. I know for a fact they do, as a matter of fact, because I've talked to both. And extremely educated scholars miss Jesus, and they still miss you. I don't know of a single Old Testament passage that refers to Jesus. Well, Jesus said the whole Old Testament was about him in Luke 24. So don't get caught up in this ridiculous stuff. But we have to keep our accreditation standards. Do you want truth, or is it about credentiality, or is it about a search for truth? They're not always the same. I love you. God bless. See you later. Love the Bible. Bye-bye.